Thank you, Jody. Oh, it's so nice to see all of you. Such a packed room, and we get excited. Sometimes we have to fight the weather, and it's tough to be inside when it's so beautiful, but I want to thank you, deep-heartedly for being here with us today. It's so meaningful to engage with our shareholders. It's what keeps us going, the conversations we have, the ability to shake hands, the ability for you to express your concerns and your ideas. It helps us throughout the year. And I want to thank you again for being here. My name is Anthony Mallott. I'm president and CEO of Sealaska. My Tlingit name is Ganuk. I'm Tsagwadi. I'm from Yakutat, Alaska. And I'm also Koyukon Athabaskan. My mother is from Rampart on the Yukon River. Not only am I excited to be here with you today, I'm excited about the information that we've presented to you through our annual report, the information that we've been posting on our website about the actions that the board is taking to provide greater shareholder benefits to all of you and all of our 22,000 shareholders. And I want to start at a point that really reflects the excitement from where we've come. 4 years ago, I was standing in front of you talking about a $35 million loss that Sealaska had just witnessed. At that point in time, Sealaska only had two things to offer: a promise of change. I was a new CEO at the time. We had a new board chair at the time. And we had the promise of a deep trust we had in the strategy for the turnaround that we were going to create for Sealaska. And if you recall the last few years, we've really been asking for your patience. We've been looking to rebuild trust. We've been talking about the strategy we're utilizing. We're telling you what our expected net income is going to be, and then we come back and we show you that we've achieved it. Back in 2013, we promised a full recovery, and the excitement that I have today is the results from 2017. It's $78 million turnaround from that point in time in 2013. Minus 35 million, 43.3 million is one of the greatest net income years Sealaska's ever had. And when I get to the next slide, I'll even get more excited, because it's not about just one strong year. The entire strategy we've been following is to make this the normal for Sealaska. To achieve financial success at this level, that's what we want for our shareholders. And 4 years ago, we knew we had to keep it simple. We knew we had to put forward a strategy that we could stay disciplined to and could provide meaningful change to Sealaska that was necessary to recover again from that $35 million loss and the operating underperformance that Sealaska had had in years before that as well. We had 4 points, and we put this in our annual report. We stood in front of you. We talked about these strategies. We said that we need to exit businesses that do not fit who we are. That was an important starting point for us. We had businesses in Guadalajara, Mexico, in Alabama, and in Iowa. They were doing plastic injection molding. We had a stand-up guard service in Miami. We had a logistics company in Georgia. These places were far away, and they really weren't businesses that fit what we felt Sealaska should be investing in, not only investing their money, but their time and resources into managing those businesses. The businesses that we were going to keep, we had an environmental services platform, environmental services doing water quality monitoring, working on stream restoration, When you go through the what businesses fit, that's a business that fits Sealaska. Environmental services fits who we are. It's based out of the Pacific Northwest. We had to improve the results of that business. In 2017, that business had the best net income year it's ever had in its 15 years. So we accomplished improve the results of our existing business. One of the strategies that I'll talk about, the ability to adjust and be flexible and adapt your strategy. We started off thinking that making one large acquisition could really help us turn around from this large loss. And what we quickly came to understand is that we weren't ready for a large acquisition. We had a lot of work to do to recover from the losses, to make sure we were in the right businesses, to understand what a value fit was for Sealaska. And we spent the first few years making sure that we were structurally sound, that we achieved greater cost efficiencies, that the money we spent added value to Sealaska's efforts. And we reached a point where making an acquisition made sense. And through that time as well, we were figuring out what type of investments makes sense for Sealaska. And we already had the values framework, this simple concept that we can tell when businesses don't fit who Sealaska is and their people. We need to figure out what businesses do fit. And we went through a process. Land management, we're a landowner. We're always going to be land managers. That's a business that fits. Environmental services, a business that fits. We went through a long process with the board to look at other industries. And what we came to the conclusion is that food and seafood is a business that fits who we are as a people. I grew up commercial fishing out of Yakutat. The bulk of my family grew up commercial fishing. I bet if everybody raised their hands who has either commercial fished or has a family member who commercial fishes. Yes. Who subsistence harvests? We know the resources from our ocean. It's an industry that fits, but we also knew that we had previously invested in the seafood industry. And we know that it's a cyclically risky industry. So just like we took care to make sure we were ready for the acquisition, we made sure that our strategy to invest in the seafood industry was sound, and we could invest in companies that we felt could give us a solid foundation in an industry that does have risk. We've made 3 acquisitions in the last 2 years alone. That platform is just in 2018 will have its first full year of operating income. And as I move to the next slide, is part of the excitement of the growing income that we have, not only from our land management and our environmental services, but now our new investments in seafood. And the whole concept of starting with simple strategies, but being willing to adapt, adjust, and strengthen those strategies is what we've done the last 5 years. So when we started with exit businesses that do not fit, what we came to the conclusion of is that Sealaska has to be in industries that are relevant and meaningful to who we are as a people. And we started expressing that to you over 2 years ago. We started using that term. That was a moment of strengthening our strategy. We knew this concept of value creation, not only with our costs, but our management efforts. We have a lot of staff here. They've been working extremely hard this 5-year time period. They've been focusing on their efforts, adding value, not only to Sealaska, but to things that our shareholders care about. That's what we mean by value creation. We started a team-based management structure where our teams work together and make decisions together, and they sit at the table and have honest, transparent conversations about the decisions Sealaska has to make. And when we do that, our decision-making is stronger. The team-based management is working for us, and it's part of this success, but also having people on those teams that are qualified and have the capacity to create the operational turnaround that Sealaska needed. Again, this $78 million turnaround. We have people that are working every day on your behalf to take this success and even make it greater. Thirdly, just from the results, we set significant goals for ourselves. You know, from a recovery, we had to recover. That was just a necessity. But we didn't, you know, not only did we want to recover, we wanted to create the sort of financial success that Sealaska has never had. Not only a single year success, but the fact that we can do this over and over. The $19 million we made from our businesses, that's growing in 2018. That's growing in 2019. That's growing in 2020. The stability of the platform we have and our ability to invest in that is, again, going to give Sealaska the opportunity not to be before you and say, you know, high five, we just had the greatest net income year ever. It's to 3 years from now come and say, we've had 3 of the consecutive best income years Sealaska's ever had. And that's what is making me excited and what is different about the strategy and the turnaround we've created, the stability and the sustainability of our business income. And I'm proud that we've done it in a way that ties to our values. That's a big difference maker. And when you think long term, what could give strength to our businesses long term, talking 50 years from now, 100 years, what could give strength to our businesses more than tying our businesses to the strength of our people, to the strengths of our ancestors, to the values we know and care about? Simply, that strategy alone is going to be a core of how we create this success and avoid the risks and ups and downs of our business performance in the past. We're going to continue to adapt and adjust and strengthen our strategies. We have our core foundation, being relevant and meaningful businesses, tie those businesses to who we are. And once we achieve this success, we'll continue to set higher and higher goals for us. And what this eventually means, and you've hopefully felt some of it to date, is that financial success is one thing. Being able to add $10 million to our scholarship endowment, being able to offer a bereavement program to our shareholders, being able to offer growing and stable dividends. That's what that financial success means. It's not success just for success's sake. That success leads immediately to the board's ability to have good conversation about what greater value can we provide our shareholder base. And those are the conversations that are occurring now. Those are the conversations that occurred when the board decided to add $10 million to our scholarship endowment. And it came after hearing from you, our shareholders. Our shareholders told us education and educational attainment is their #1 priority. The board heard that voice, and again, they took that action to invest in our youth, to invest in additional scholarships for our youth. And this just really shows you what income does. Income becomes cash for Sealaska. And I'm proud to say every dollar Sealaska ever makes will go to its shareholders. And because of, you see on the right side, the income improvement that we saw in 2017, that's where that extra income, that extra cash came from for the board to be able to make these decisions, to increase the value our shareholders are seeing from Sealaska. And it came from all of our income sources. We're very proud of the $19 million in operating income that our business has created, a $10 million improvement over 2016, and again, a $70 million improvement over the 2013 results. But we have other income sources that are powerful and meaningful to Sealaska. Our investment income provided $22.6 million to Sealaska in 2017. The income we get from natural resource revenue sharing, our 7I income from other ANCs that we've shared $300 million with the other ANCs, now we're seeing that benefit come back. We received close to $19 million from other ANCs who are utilizing their resources. And one thing I want to point out, because it's in your booklet, I think there's a lot of good information in your booklet that is worthwhile to review. We have a line item that we call headquarter costs. But we also have a page in your booklet that shows all of the different shareholder programs we have. That's included in what a financial document like an annual report would call costs. Our donations to Sealaska Heritage, our investments in our shareholders, our scholarships, our carving blank programs, our totem donation programs. It's all listed in the booklet. I don't think all of those are costs. Those are investments in our shareholders. And it's worthwhile to see all the current programs that we offer our shareholders and understand that there's going to be more because of this success. Right now, we've wanted to be transparent, more transparent with our shareholders than we have in the past, and offer forecasts. If we were offering a forecast at the beginning of the year, we'd probably say we might see a little drop in net income because we don't often see a positive investment year like we did in 2017. But this offers me a chance to highlight a project that we're very proud of, our carbon program. The income that we get from our carbon program, we're at a point where we're confident we will not see a drop in our net income because the carbon program will provide positive income and beneficial cash to Sealaska. That program recognizes the need to combat climate change. It recognizes that leaving trees standing sequesters that carbon and again combats climate change. And it ties with our other businesses. It ties to our environmental services business. It ties to the fact that we listen to our shareholders and our communities. Our communities on Prince of Wales had specific areas that they did not think went well in a timber harvest program. We listened to them, and instead of harvesting, we put those lands again into a carbon program that will offer upfront cash and income to Sealaska that will be very meaningful over the next 2 years. We'll continue to provide information to you, the shareholders. We did not sell the land. We still own the land. We still manage the land. We can still develop the land for other purposes like tourism, natural harvest. All our shareholders can still subsistence harvest, subsistence hunt on our lands. So it's as close to a win-win of a project as we can see. And again, it's going to add to the financial success our businesses are seeing so far. I've mentioned the fact that our business is tied to who we are. The easiest representation is the fact that our business is tied to our homelands, Ha'ani. We work in land management. We have ownership of land in our true homeland, Southeast Alaska. We do environmental service work in the oceans and rivers of the Pacific Northwest. And now we're in the seafood business, where we're processing Alaskan seafood and doing high value add, high quality processing straight to retail and consumers, halibut, cod, sockeye, wild crab, to places like Costco, to Walmart, to Fred Meyer's, to retail stores, and direct to restaurants as well. All businesses that tie to our homeland's Ha'ani. And to go back again to why, and what does it mean for the shareholder base? The ability to add 10 million to the scholarship endowment, the ability to create a bereavement program for our shareholders, to be able to be focused on increased career development, to provide blueprints of what professions our youth can go into, push them into careers that they will be successful in. That's what we want to continue to do. That's just the starting point. There's more to come. I know our board members will talk to you through their speeches about that excitement and about what exactly on their minds it is that's more to come. And we want you to tell us as well. Hearing from you makes our ability to add value to you that much greater. So again, thank you for coming, having dinner with us, and sitting here and listening to myself, the board, and all the participants tonight. Gunak Chish, thank you.